Hey folks, welcome back to BATTLEMODE. This is an interesting video for me to make because it kind of feels almost like a bit of an apology to the community. This is Space Empires 4 Deluxe, and a game that in the past I've kind of trashed because I felt that the game was really lacking in the AI department. And for me, particularly as a player that likes pressure-based gameplay in 4X games, AI is really important. If the game doesn't really play very well, if the AI can't kind of keep up with the player, at least enough to be able to give the player something to fight against, then I just won't play a game. I don't know what's happened though. I think I must have had either a bugged version of the game or I just had bad luck. I don't know. But anyway, I've been playing this again on the recommendation of some of my viewers, and I can't remember who it was. It was months ago. Said, hey, why don't you play Space Empires 4 again? Because I was really disappointed to see that you rated this game so lowly in your tier list. I mean, I gave this game a D tier, okay? And I think this shocked a lot of people. I got a lot of comments and a lot of pushback about that decision. People saying, what are you doing? This game's really good. So anyway, I've actually gone back into this game to have a look. And I'm kind of part way through my first game. And I set the game options with the AI on hard, but I didn't give it any bonuses or advantages. And I tell you what, the AI is not brain dead. I've got... Here's my empire, right? So I started in this place called Elantra here. And this is Nizarum. And I've basically colonized these 5 systems. With planet, colonies on planets all through these systems. And I've run into a couple of hostile AIs. We've got these guys. I still think the graphics in this game is so goofy, by the way. This game came out in 2000, I think, and it was that era when the 3D graphics were, they were a couple of years in, and they weren't doing good. They weren't doing good. I mean, at the time they looked kind of they looked cool because they were sort of, wow, it's 3D graphics. But you look back at it now, and I mean, compare the fidelity of the graphics here compared to something like Master of Orion 2, where you had a game that was mostly 2D graphics, and they'd really mastered 2D graphics in the 90s and the late 90s. So look at the state of this. This is really bad. However, I don't mean to be mean, because this game is actually really, really good. So firstly, I found out that the AI does work, and it's not that bad. There are mods apparently that make the AI much more aggressive and kind of tweak game mechanics in order to make the game play a little bit more difficult with regards to AI pressure, much like Caster of Magic was done. But I haven't played with any of the mods here. So what is it that I'm seeing in this game that that I like? Well, the UI looks a bit odd, but I actually think the UI is really good. It's quite easy to figure out what where you want to be. So selecting planets, you can have a look at your facilities that you've got here. It has got a bit of an unusual UI. For example, if I want to go to build something, there are a couple of ways of doing it. I can go to the construction queue and then find my planet that I want to build from here. For example, if I wanted to build a ship from Nizarum here, look, I just click on here and then add ships. It's all pretty simple. It does have, like for example, let's say I've got this ship here, this people hopper, and if I want to transport population from one planet to another. So you click on the actual ship, then you'd click on load cargo, click on the actual planet, select population because that's what you want to move, and then you select the ship again, click on drop cargo, and you drop it and you click on the planet and what you want to drop and which destination, and there you go. So it seems like there's a lot of button clicks sometimes, but it's pretty clear what you've got to do. So I did see some criticism of the UI in this game, and I don't see it. I think it's fine. Research is easy. This is the research screen. You've got diplomacy is done here, so you just click on these guys. There's lots of diplomatic options in this game, like loads. I am starting to see why it is that people like this game a lot. The ship designer is really easy to use. Create a new ship. I want a ship. What size of hull? Let's have a cruiser. You can give it a type. This doesn't do anything to the game, I don't think, other than just allow you to organize things. So, and you can add stuff as well. Like you can say, I want this to be a tractor beam ship or something weird like that, right? So you can just kind of add that in, give it a name. It's got a load of there's a load of names that you can just pre-select, but you can do that. It's got a little bit of the whole Distant Worlds thing of, you know, Haben life. I don't care about that. I know some people really hate it. It doesn't really bother me at all. What is it, like 5 button clicks? It's not the end of the world. Then yeah, you can just add engines, add however many engines you want, and then, you know, your weapons, armor. It's pretty simple. It's loads easier to do in Distant Worlds. But this is a way better interface than Distant Worlds 1, a universe anyway. So yeah, designs are easy to make. It's got a combat simulator, so you can come up against, you can put yourself up your new designs up against any ships that you've seen in the game. So if you've, you know, you can have 3-way battles. It's got tactical combat. It's a really, really interesting game. And yeah, so I just want to kind of issue a bit of a public apology. I'm sorry that I kind of passed this game over. I made a rash judgment, I think, on this, and I feel that I guess it was after playing Endless Space 2, and I played Endless Space 2 several times, and each time I got the same result. It was just so slow, so boring. I just hated it. I stuck it out for like 6 hours on the first game, and just nothing happened in that 6 hours, and it just felt like the most tedious game. I do feel like now I need to go back and play Endless Space 2 again, because I gave that more chance than this, but I'm starting to realise with myself sometimes that first impressions are really important with me, and if I have a bad game, then often it's clear that I'm starting to discount games where maybe more analysis and more exploration of the game was required in order for me to understand it. Because I tell you, man, I'm liking this game now. I'm liking it a lot, and I think with just, I know the UI looks a bit kind of like, what's all these buttons? Once you understand the buttons and the hotkeys, this game's really easy to play. You could do stuff in it really quick, and for a turn-based game, it's very, very quick to play with the scale. You know, I mean, how far am I in? This is 90 turns in, I think this is. Yeah, because it's 0.1 of a turn basically every game. So 0.1 of a game date. I assume this is year, and it seems to split the. We don't have 12 months. We just have 10 months in a year for some reason. Whatever. But like, yeah. So we're 90 turns in, and I played this in what? I played it for about 3 or 4 hours, maybe. So it plays really quick. There's loads of planets to colonize. They've all got different stuff on them. They've all got different atmospheric conditions. You have to kind of consider what race you're going to be colonizing with. It's very much like a turn-based version of Distant Worlds universe, and that's how it was sold to me originally. So yeah, I'm starting to see the appeal in Space Empires 4. The AI, the enemy. This guy here. Hold on. So these dudes. These didn't like, well, these are kind of like, we bumped into these guys, and I think these are a warlike faction, because every time I try to do something nice with someone, they hate me more. Whereas if I attack other people, then they seem to like me. So I think that they must be a sort of warlike race. But these guys, Queen Triana here, she's a looker, isn't she? Well, Queen Triana quickly decided to go to war with me over a colony, over this area here, and I had a colony on Ural 4 here, and I was starting to build it up, and it was actually a research colony, so a large amount of my research was coming out of here. And she declared war on me, and then came along with just a couple of ships and bombed my undefended colony. You know, classic schoolboy error in a 4X, not defending your stuff, right? Because I'd heard that the AI wasn't, you know, I've also read other accounts by people who say they don't think the AI is very aggressive. I disagree. I also had these same race. I had these 2 planets here that colonized, and so they came at me with a couple of ships, and I fought them off with a fleet. I sent a fleet over from my main planet here. Moving fleets is easy, by the way. You just click on move, then you click where you want to move them to, and then they just kind of move off. You can also get them to. You can click on warp as well. You just click on warp here, and they'll fly off in this direction and warp over. Yeah, so I fought them off with a fleet, destroyed the ships that they sent over, and recolonized. And instead of coming back with just a few ships again, they actually sent a big fleet at me. Look at these. These are much bigger ships, and they were way in advance of my technology level. So understand that I am playing this as a first-time player, pretty much, and so I've obviously not learned how to optimize my research, or what to go for. I've just been kind of meandering my way through, and I've actually got to the point now where I'm building ships that can cope with what they're sending at me. But still, they've wiped me off 2 systems. They've actually destroyed 2 of my colonies. So any advantage that I had, I mean, I had a decent advantage at one point, and it's gone. You know, they've beaten me back. We'll just go to the comparisons. Look, you'll see here, my score dropped dramatically because I just lost 2 colonies, and the you know, my ally here is actually overtaking me in score. So I think that this game is going to be very playable, and I'm sure that you can make if you were to set certain teams, you know, like fighting against enemy teams, and you gave them the AI resource advantages, actually this could be quite a difficult game until at least you learn to min-max everything. And there are loads of mods. So yeah, I stand corrected, folks. I think Space Empires 4 is a really, really good game, and I think this might be a candidate for an Explorminate series. I'm not going to go on because I've got a habit of rambling, so I'm going to leave it there, folks. Let me know what you think about Space Empires 4 in the comments. And yeah, are there any other games that you think that I've kind of passed over and maybe made a bit of a rash judgment about that I should re-examine and change my opinion on, perhaps? Let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you next time. Take it easy, guys. Keep exploring.